Good morning. I just woke up and took Duncan out. It is now just about 7:20. Let's do a little what I eat in a day. I haven't done one of these in a while. First things first, water. I fill my water bottle up first thing every morning. I'm not like super crazy strict on the amount of water I drink throughout the day. However, I do have a minimum. And you're dehydrated when you wake up, right? Like I just went over 7 hours without water. I wouldn't do that throughout the day. So let's hydrate. And we'll go sip on this while we do red light. Now for protein coffee. I don't like to eat right away, but I typically start with protein. I have been really loving the clear protein. It tastes like juice. Sometimes I'll make a really big jar of this and drink it throughout the morning. But today I am in the mood for protein coffee. This is caramel latte flavor by First Farm. This is Melozio. It's essentially plain black coffee. I just take one full scoop and put it right in there and froth it up. And just like that, you have protein coffee. I've been drinking protein coffee for about 2 years now, which is kind of crazy. I just think it's smart because you're getting protein in first thing in the morning, but also adding the protein powder flavors my coffee, so then I don't add any cream or anything like that. Not that I'm against that, I'll have some later, but it's just less throughout my day, which is great. And getting 23 grams in right away sets me ahead for the day too. There's really just so many benefits. So I'm gonna go drink this. I just worked out. It is time to make breakfast. You already know we have the protein bagels. I prep these pretty much every week so that I can eat them throughout the week. I am obsessed with them. I've been making them actually since like 2021, but I have refined my strategy. So right now they're probably the best that they've ever been in my history with them. I used to make them just with Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. Then you do an egg wash on top and everything bagel seasoning. However, Greek yogurt is so expensive. So lately I've been playing around with cottage cheese because it's a little bit cheaper and it's very similar on a macro basis. And I do eat dairy. So these actually are half Greek yogurt, half cottage cheese. I made them, I basically put in the cottage cheese first and I whisked it just to smooth it a little bit. I used my KitchenAid, which I also love. I got it new this year, and ever since then I'm like, wow, this is the best thing ever. If you have the money for it, because it is a bit pricey, I would highly recommend a KitchenAid. But cottage cheese first, then I added in the Greek yogurt and just mixed that together, then added in the self-rising flour, turned it into a dough, formed the bagels, added the egg wash, added the everything bagel seasoning, and then baked them. Here we have it. So then how I reheat it every morning. I'm sure you could put it in a regular toaster. I mean, it does fit, but I have been in the habit of putting it in the air fryer on the top rack and just toasting it up to warm it and, you know, toast it like you would toast a regular bagel. And then I love a breakfast sandwich. I used to make eggs and do this every day, but lately I've been so obsessed with egg salad. I don't know why, but depending on how hungry I am, I'll either take 1 or 2 eggs. I ate kind of late last night, so I'm just gonna do 1. I'm not like starving right now, but we will crack it and peel it. Throw it in the bowl, add some cottage cheese. The amount really just depends on how many eggs I use. I'll add a little bit of light mayo and some Dijon mustard and mix this up. Throw in some salt and pepper. And then I'll heat up a breakfast turkey sausage patty. Again, I'll do 1 or 2 depending on how hungry I am and how much egg salad I'm making, just so it's like proportional. And then I'll just assemble. We got breakfast sausage, we'll top the egg salad. Look at how beautiful It turns out so good every time, I swear. I am so obsessed with these bagels, and I have been for a long time. When I make these, this ranges anywhere from like 24-ish to almost 40 grams of protein. It really just depends how hungry I am, you know, what I have planned for the rest of the day, what time I eat, like all of that, right? Like you're not gonna have the same exact hunger cues every single day. If I want more, I'll add more eggs, more cottage cheese, more in the mixture, another sausage, whatever. But this is what I'm feeling today, and I'm so excited to eat it. I truly look forward to it when I finish my workout every morning. I swear, not even lying. These bagels aren't that hard. And they're so good. Such a good alternative. Just amazing. Also, with breakfast or in the morning, I don't take a lot of supplements. I usually do protein powder to help me get protein and whatever. But what I do take is creatine every day. Super great for muscle building, great for brain health, great for a lot of things. So I'll add a scoop of creatine. It's a very studied supplement. It's fairly affordable too. Like it's much cheaper than protein powder or I don't know, whatever. And then I will go and add some electrolytes. I have a bunch of Liquid IV. I have other brands too. I will really just try whatever. Honestly, this is the firecracker flavor from Liquid IV, which I do love. Fill up the water. It also just helps me drink more water, you know? Electrolytes are great. So is creatine, and then you know what? We're getting more water in too. Cheers. I really need to make popsicles with these this summer. I think that would be amazing. But it's so yummy, and this is really the only supplements I do. So the rest of the day, I'm just trying to eat and show you real foods, you know? We could all do a little bit better with eating real foods. Nevertheless, we're gonna sip on this and go walk the dog, and I'll see you in a bit for lunch. I mentioned how I learned the right way to make a latte for optimal flavor and stuff. You put the flavor in first, you brew the espresso directly into the flavor. I'm gonna give it a little stir now. I love using mason jars for an afternoon iced latte because there's measurements on the side. So I know I wanna take my creamer. 1 serving is 1 tablespoon. I do 2 servings. I do like it a bit sweet, but 2 tablespoons is 1/8 a cup. Guess what? There's a 1/4 a cup measurement on here, so I go halfway between the bottom and the 4th. Perfect. I brew the espresso, I mix it up. Now I know I want about 1/2 a cup of milk, just because that's how I like it, not because of any calorie this, protein that. But so then take my milk and I eyeball it. We're at about 1/2 a cup now. So we add milk until we hit a full cup, because that is 1/2 cup of milk. And look at that, that's a perfect finish. Amazing. Another little stir. And now we go and add the ice. Grab a straw. If you use glass straws, be careful because sometimes they can crack and you don't want to be sipping up pieces of glass. That has happened to me before. Not the sipping part, but the cracking part, I noticed. Give it another stir. Perfect. Perfect. Sometimes I'll experiment with different flavors and using at home this, a little vanilla, maple syrup, this and that, whatever. But coffee creamer is just something that I buy. Sometimes I'll go the Chobani route. It's more expensive, but it's definitely a little bit creamer. Sometimes I'll go the International Delight route, and it's probably the most processed thing I'll have in my day, which is fine. Life's about balance. And if I just really want a nice, sweet, flavorful afternoon latte to make my day better and make life worth living, sometimes it's what you gotta do. It's about 12:30 now. I'll sip on this for a little while, and then lunch will come next whenever I feel like it, whenever I get hungry. I am hungry for lunch. I mentioned before how I'm not always really good about eating lunch, so it's been something I've been trying to prioritize, is actually making time for lunch just to regulate my day and not eat breakfast super, super late and then be starving for dinner. I'm just trying to keep it balanced. I also feel lunch is a great time to get in a good amount of veggies because a lot of times I've struggled with that. So it's been a priority of mine lately. And I prepped some stuff. I'm excited to show you this meal. I'm really good about prioritizing my protein, which you probably know, but something that I think is so underrated that I really want to focus more on is fiber. I actually had a call yesterday with a dietitian and asked her all about fiber and stuff. I found her through Nourish. Nourish is the easiest way to find and speak to a registered dietitian online. It was just over Zoom and it's covered by insurance. And this video is sponsored by Nourish, so a big thank you to them for sponsoring this video. I actually have worked with them in the past, which is super cool. I had a call last year and I'm looking back on on it, we talked about totally different things, which is just a sign of growth, right? So I had my call yesterday. It was super, super awesome. Just between me and her, so like I could share anything, like I was vulnerable, but I did ask her specifically about fiber, and she gave me a list of different foods, and we talked about different meals and just ways that you can incorporate it and why fiber is important. You know, gut health is so trendy and fiber is so good for your gut health. And it's weird that like different types of health can be trendy, but that's the reality. She was just super great to talk to. Such a good perspective. And I did talk about decreasing my body fat percentage because that's something I want to do. And like, I'm not in a rush to like lose weight or anything, but I want to be healthier and like work on that and stuff. And you know, having a good body fat percentage in terms of like what is optimal and appropriate for like your age, gender, height, all of that. And she's like, hey, yeah, like it'll take like 6 months of commitment for you to lower it to, you know, maybe what you want. And I'm like, yeah, like that's okay with me. You know, like I'm not in a rush. It's a long-term goal. It's nice to talk to someone with such an educated background, but also sustainable approach, of course, like I have too. Nourish offers personalized nutrition therapy to improve the patient's health through sustainable, evidence-based behavior change. So it's the real deal. And you can match with someone who specializes in something specific that you want to work on, whether it be losing weight or gut health or women's health, sports, performance, like so many different categories. And it's just always useful to talk to someone who is knowledgeable, who has a degree, who wants to listen to you and help you. Nourish accepts hundreds of different insurance plans in all 50 states. 94% of Nourish patients pay $0 out of pocket. And signing up takes like 5 minutes, and then you're on your way to lifelong sustainable changes and improvements. They can literally help teach you how to grocery shop. Like the options are endless. And a dietitian probably does more than you think. Check out Nourish using the link in my description box, which is usenourish.com/morgreeen. I have been pretty good lately about having chicken prepped and shredded and just sitting in my fridge to add to different things throughout the week. However, we're having chicken for dinner, so we're gonna have a different protein source for lunch. It's been a few months since I've purchased these. However, I went through a phase where I would make tuna steaks all the time. I really do like them, so I'm gonna throw this on the stove. It's super easy and just changes it up. Like I said, I'm having chicken for dinner, and I love chicken, but sometimes you want to change it up. Just gonna do some salt and pepper over it and cook it. Then pita bread. I didn't realize how much I love pita bread. I'm just gonna do a half a piece, only because this is filling because I'm putting a lot of stuff together, and I'm gonna throw it in the air fryer to toast it up. Cut open my avocado. If you are someone who does want to lose weight, fiber is really awesome because it is something that helps keep you fuller for longer, just like protein. They are alike in that sense, which is super awesome. And it just supports a healthy gut. Jessica told me that women generally want to hit, I think it was 20 to 25 grams of protein per day. And I think like most adults do not hit their fiber intake. I know I don't. So I want to make that a newer goal of mine. You know, sometimes I track protein, but like I don't track fiber, and maybe that's something I need to do. I was telling her actually that part of the reason I struggle with it is like I have done the work to familiarize myself. Like I know what's high in protein, or approximately if I have this much of this, like I'll have about this much protein, but I just haven't done the work to know what has fiber and like what are high fiber foods and what's not. Like I know fruits and veggies generally will give you some fiber, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I haven't done that work to make those associations, and if I do that, I think that's something that would really help me reach a fiber goal. I also do want to give myself credit though, because the past week or two, I've been so much better about prioritizing lunch, and I've been doing a lot of salad kits, which I feel like salad kits get a bad rap sometimes, but I don't know, the ones I've been eating are great. They taste great, they have great ingredients. They last me 2 days. They're so easy, like I enjoy them. Throw a little protein in there and it's good to go. So I have been pretty good lately, and I want to keep that up. Don't forget your meat thermometer. I'm always terrified I'm gonna undercook my meat, so I use this thing very much. Sorry, but I don't think you can have tuna. I don't think tuna's good for you. I'll share chicken at dinner time though. So we start with the pita, add the avocado. Then we top with a bunch of this salad, I'll call it, that I prepped a few days ago. I just cut up 2 cucumbers, a bunch of grape tomatoes, half of a red onion, added in olive oil, lime juice, salt, and pepper, and it's so good. Then we'll add our protein. See, when I have chicken prepped, normally I just have to literally like take it from the fridge and add shredded chicken on top, so it's a lot less work. So if I don't want to cook every single day, you know, normally I'll just prep some meat ahead of time and just throw it on here, but today we cooked. And then I like to top it with feta. I love feta cheese. So good. And how beautiful is that? We have some healthy fats, we have carbs, we have protein, we do have fiber here. Like I keep saying, I normally do chicken with this, but I think the tuna will taste just fine. This is definitely a little bit messy to eat because I feel like everything just falls when you pick it up because there's just a lot thrown onto this one pita bread. Like I said, lately I've been really on top of like eating real lunches and real foods. I noticed so much that it's just the basics that matter. When you make time to eat real protein sources, real fruits and vegetables, and just real foods, you feel so much better. Not to say that there's not room for all the other stuff, right? But like when I'm eating too many protein bars and this and that, like I just don't feel as good, and I always notice it in my stomach. Not just bloating, but just I just feel uneasy. And so last week was really awesome. This week has also been awesome so far. I want to keep this up. It's truly the basics that make the biggest difference. We just walked to Dunkin'. It is now dinner time. I do have a new recipe I want to try, not just because I'm filming a what I eat in a day video, but what I regularly do is during the week, we try to make at least 2, whether it's new or like ones we have on repeat, whatever, like 2 full dinners, and then we'll do leftovers on other days, and then some days it'll be kind of like random, fend for yourself, but I try to do 2 legit meals. And so today we are doing a legit meal. I got it from Pinterest. I always search on Pinterest and TikTok for recipes. This one is like a chicken orzo with tomatoes and spinach and Parmesan, I think. So I went ahead and took a pound of chicken. It was over a pound. It's definitely way more than a pound, but you need at least a pound of chicken, and I just cut it all up. Let's let the cooking begin. Let me grab a pan. They always gotta be laying exactly where you need to stand, you know? He just wants to be involved. Did you have a good walk? Oh, you're so handsome. Boop. So it looks good. It definitely looks a little bit different than the picture though. Like the picture, it's not as soupy, and also the chicken got more brown, but my chicken was not getting very brown. Maybe I just used too much oil or something. I don't really know. Chicken's definitely cooked though. But like look at, this doesn't look very soupy. Mine looks soupy. I followed the directions, I swear. I think. It smells really good though. Let's try it. I'm gonna have to use a bowl for sure. Not a plate. And honestly, I think I'm gonna scoop it with a ladle. It's not like soup, but it's definitely pretty liquidy. On my call yesterday, she was saying how when you are incorporating more veggies, when you don't regularly, it can be interesting on your stomach. Like you'll be more gassy and this and that. And so cooking your vegetables is a good way to introduce more of them because it's just easier to digest, which makes total sense, but it's just something I've never thought of before. Keith isn't home right now, so I'm gonna leave it on low and cover it. And I wonder if I let it sit here for longer, if some of the liquid will soak up a little. Arguably, one of the most exciting parts is that you're supposed to top it with Parmesan cheese. Gorgeous. I love any type of cheese. Here is my bowl all plated and put together. And now let's try it. I really hope this is a hit because it was actually so easy. It's definitely one of the easiest recipes I've tried lately in terms of just the amount of steps you do, the cleanup, the dishes you use. It is very good. I mean, how can you go wrong with these ingredients, right? Like you have garlic and chicken broth and chicken and whatever. Like I'd be shocked if I didn't like it. I just wish it was a little less soupy. But you know what? I do think after it sits in the fridge too, when we do leftovers tomorrow, I think it'll be a little less soupy. And the orzo will probably soak up the liquid a little more. So honestly, maybe it'll be better second day. It's hot though. But protein, more fiber, good stuff. It's a hit. It's one I'm gonna save. I will link it. I'm gonna go sit down and enjoy this. Happy dinner. I really want chocolate, not even gonna lie to you. I want something sweet, specifically chocolate though. I wanna get in a good habit of desserts though. For example, for a while I was doing dates and peanut butter, which is great, but here I have a like healthy banana bread. I made the other day. I actually put it in a video. It's from a TikTok recipe, and I think I'm gonna have a little piece of this for like my dessert or sweet treat or whatever you want to call it. I don't have one every night, but I always want one. I always want one. This is the leftovers. It's what it looks like. It's not like super sweet or anything, but there's no added sugar. The worst part about it is probably the chocolate chips, which is awesome. There's not even flour in it, which is kind of crazy. I'll link the recipe. I'm ready for bed. I have actually been doing tea quite often lately, and it's a fun nighttime ritual. I do peppermint tea. I don't have a kettle, so I fill up a mug of water and then I just dump it into the pot and I heat it this way. It just feels more real than putting it in a microwave. Like, I've done it in the microwave, right? But this just feels more legit to me. This is the tea. Just got it from the local Walmart, I think. I don't add anything to it, but I honestly do think I find that it helps my stomach. Whether my stomach is like feeling normal or not, or a little bloated or not, I do feel like after I have it and then going to bed, I'm making two. And then also waking up in the morning, I honestly think it makes a difference. The power of nature, don't underestimate it. And then you're supposed to cover them for 10 minutes, so I'll just take one big plate and cover them together. So hot. Nice little nighttime wind down. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to Nourish. Be sure to check them out. Super amazing resource and could be covered by insurance. The link is in the description box. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in my next one.